Imagine waking up 30 days from now, finding your business running 80% on autopilot. Your leads are being qualified automatically, your meetings are being booked without you lifting a finger, and your sales pipeline is filling itself even while you sleep. This isn't some far off fantasy, it's exactly what happens when you implement the right AI automations in your business. And in today's video, I'm gonna break down the top 5 AI automations that you can start leveraging today that are not only working, but are producing results that are battle tested and implemented across a dozen businesses, and they could be implemented within yours in just 30 days. These aren't theoretical concepts, these are the exact systems I've implemented for myself and for over a dozen clients that spread across different industries such as real estate, brick and mortar, service-based businesses, consultants, agencies, and anybody who essentially deals with lead flow and the internet in some capacity. And the best thing about these AI automations is that you don't have to hire a single employee to implement them. I'll break down each automation step by step so you can start seeing results immediately yourself. And by the end of this video, you have a clear roadmap to automate the most critical parts of your business and join the ranks of entrepreneurs who are already working less while making more. Before we dive into the specific automations, let's talk about why this matters so much right now. It is 2025, the competition is becoming ruthless, and we're living through one of the biggest shifts in business operations since the internet. AI tools that used to cost thousands of dollars and require teams of developers are now available to people like you and me, and to small business owners at a fraction of the cost. And for less than $1,000 a month, you can have a complete AI infrastructure installed in your business, doing most of the critical business functions on your behalf, or at least aiding with it. But here's the problem. Most business owners are overwhelmed by the options. They don't know where to start, which process to automate first, or which tool to use because there's a new kid on the block every single day. There's thousands of videos that are promoting those tools, and that's the very reason I've created this video. I've tested a dozen of AI automations across multiple businesses, and I've identified that there's 5 that deliver the biggest impact, which means that they deliver meaningful results for the business and produce revenue, not just automating parts that don't matter or are good to have but not necessity. So these 5 automations will save you at least 20 hours per week, increase your conversion between 20 to 50% depending on how dialed in is your process right now, and allow you to scale without hiring more people by actually making your current team more effective, whether that's just you and a handful of people or you already have a team that's fulfilling the different functions of the business. And the best part is that the systems will work 24/7 on autopilot without your involvement once they're set up. So what is the automation number 1? It's the AI powered qualification and instant response. The first automation, and arguably the most impactful one, is implementing AI system that instantly engages, qualifies, and nurtures your leads. Here's why this matters. Studies show that responding to your leads within 5 minutes versus 30 minutes increases conversion rates by 21%. But the reality is that most businesses take hours or sometimes even days to respond to new leads. And especially if you're a small business, you simply can't afford to do that just because you don't have enough leads coming in. And every single one of them is super crucial for your growth. And with AI, you can respond instantly 24/7 and ask the exact qualifying questions that you would ask if you were there in person. And here's how to implement these automations. Step 1 is to map your current qualification process. Start by documenting exactly how you currently qualify leads. What questions do you ask? What criteria make someone a good fit? What objections do you typically address? For example, if you're in a marketing agency, your qualification questions might include: what's your current monthly ad spend? What industry are you in? What is your target cost per acquisition? And have you worked with an agency before? Step number 2 now is to choose the right AI tool. And for this automation, you need a conversational AI tool that can engage leads via email, chat, and even voice. And some options include specialized AI agent platforms such as Vapi, Retail AI, Synflow, AppointmentWise, CloseBot, and these are directly plugging into your software systems. They are either free or pay per minute. Some have a monthly subscription. You could also build your own custom solution via the ChatGPT and Claude APIs, connect them to make.com or N8N, and this will give you everything you need. Or you could use an all-in-one platform like WellGrow that handles the entire process for you and is super user-friendly and no code at all. The key is finding a tool that balances ease of use with customization options. Step number 3 is to create your qualification flow. Now, build a conversation flow that mimics how you would qualify lead. Your AI should introduce itself, ask your qualification questions one by one, provide helpful responses to common objections, and score leads based on your criteria. And if a good fit, route the qualified leads to the next step, which usually means booking a call or a meeting with your business. And to show you the lead qualification system in practice, we have somebody that came in through a Facebook ad 6:04, then automatically the AI called them 5 minutes later and booked an appointment with them. And as you can hear here,
No. In the morning.
Got it. How about 8:15 a.m. on Monday, March 31st?
That's
Is that perfect? Let me lock in your appointment for 8:15 a.m. on Monday, March 31st.
and as you can see, obviously because of confidentiality, I'm not going to share the details of the call and the specifics of the customer, but the AI called the lead, qualified them, and booked them in directly into our calendar. Finally, you have to connect your AI to wherever your leads come from, whether it's your website forms, landing pages, social media, lead generation campaigns, or meta advertising. This ensures that every lead is engaged instantly. And the results of this automation are dramatic. One of my clients, which is a gym owner, implemented this system and saw their lead to appointment ratio increase from 12% to 38% in just 3 weeks. That means that instead of 12 leads out of 100 booking an appointment, he got 38 to schedule, and all while saving 15 hours per week of manual follow-up. Now, automation number 2 is the AI meeting scheduler and pre-call preparation. The second automation focuses on streamlining your meeting booking process and preparing you for calls. Here's the problem this solves. The average business owner spends 5+ hours each and every week just scheduling and rescheduling meetings, and another 3 to 4 hours researching and preparing for those meetings to make sure that we don't look like a fool and we actually show up to the meeting knowing what we're talking about. With AI, you can automate both processes completely. And here's how to implement this automation. Step number 1 is to set up an AI-powered scheduling system. And you can use the calendar functions within Go High Level, WellGrow, but you need to enhance the calendar functions with the AI capabilities. And what makes your AI automations really powerful is giving them the capabilities to execute things on your behalf. And as you can see within the WellGrow platform, our agents have the capabilities to manage our calendar, check availability if we're talking to a past prospect that has already interacted with us, book an appointment, reschedule an appointment, cancel appointment, or check if the user has multiple appointments with us. We can also create tasks on the behalf of the business owner or whoever's handling the leads, as well as create different notes and self-schedule the AI to follow up with the prospect at the specified time by the user. So by giving different tools to your AI agents, you provide the autonomy that is needed for it to execute on your behalf and accomplish tasks that normally you would have to do yourself. Once you connect to your calendar to the AI assistant from automation number 1, you have to allow the AI to suggest optimal times for meetings based on your energy levels, priorities, and calendar availability to maximize the booking ratio. You don't need to enable automatic rescheduling without your involvement to ensure that the leads that are messaging you for canceling or rescheduling are handled by the AI. Now let's look at the AI actually rescheduling in action, and then we'll also see the research that is done on that particular prospect. So they've booked an appointment by themselves, and as you can see, they automatically get a confirmation and they say that's too late for me. Is there a way where I can get time that's working for both of us? And I offered, actually the AI offer, it wasn't me, offered 2 options that would be more suitable. So they chose the 9 a.m. option. They immediately got booked in. They got a confirmation. They started receiving a couple of emails. They got it confirmed, and they just had a conversation with the AI, thanked them for booking the call. And then eventually the AI tried to call them. They forwarded the call over to voicemail, and they said, I won't make the call. So the AI automatically canceled it and offered for a reschedule. And on top of that, in the background, it already prepared a research brief on that particular prospect in the notes section. So as you can see here, there's a professional profile containing all the information. I'm going to blur it out just for the purpose of not showing confidential data here. But as you can see, you can automate every part of the lead nurturing protocol with AI agents. Step number 2 is to create a pre-call brief generator. This is where the magic happens. You can set up your AI to compile all the information about the prospects that have booked a meeting with your business, and you can summarize their qualification responses, research their company, both pulling from LinkedIn, their website, and information that exists publicly on the web, whether that's going to be Facebook, Twitter, or any other channel they're active on. And then you can identify potential pain points based on their industry. You can prepare talking points and questions tailored to their situation, and this makes you a little weapon when it comes to selling whatever's the service or product you provide. Step number 3 is to deliver that brief before each call or directly integrate it in your CRM and configure your system to send you a comprehensive brief 15 to 30 minutes before each call. And this brief could or should include information such as who you're speaking to, and here you could include background. This could help you build rapport quicker, why they're interested in your services, what questions they've already asked to the AI agent, and recommended talking points. You might even include potential objections to prepare for and prepare some case studies that are going to match the profile you're going to be meeting. And a friend of mine that is an agency owner implemented this system and eliminated 8 hours of weekly research that he was spending before that and going back and forth with his VA staff to make sure that he's prepared for the meetings, and that helped him increase his close rate by 22% because people were just amazed at how good he's prepared for every call and thought he spent the extra hours to actually go out and research, and they didn't know what's behind scenes, obviously. So this could be your little secret as well. And the third automation focuses on ensuring that there's no lead or opportunity falls through the cracks unless there's an established connection, conversation, or they've showed up for a call. And here's the problem. Studies show that 80% of the sales require at least 5 follow-ups, but 44% of salespeople give up after just 1 follow-up. This means that businesses are leaving enormous amount of money on the table by not implementing a system like that. And it's as simple as a workflow that follows up with your prospects as long as it can, and with AI you can create a sophisticated follow-up sequence that persists without being annoying. And here's how to implement this automation. Whether you're using Go High Level, HubSpot, Salesforce, there's ways to programmatically, based on the tagging sequences within your format, define how frequently you should follow up with your prospect. So step 1 would be to map out your ideal follow-up sequence. You can document how you would follow up with different types of leads. Those who showed interest but didn't book a call, those who booked a call but didn't show up, those who had a call but didn't convert, existing customers who might be ready for upsells or they've been with you for a while and they're now happy. And step number 3 is to now create personalized follow-up templates and install them within your CRM. So for each scenario, you can create templates that your AI can personalize. It can use the custom values and information that exists within your CRM, and these things could include reference to previous interactions, value-adding content relevant to their situation or their objections, and clear call to actions that help them move towards the next step. And you can have timing variations. Some people respond better to morning emails, others to evening, some pick up their phone during their lunch break, others after work. You need to test what works for your audience, your demographic, and your target industry. Now, step number 3 is to implement the multi-channel follow-up, and you do that by configuring your AI to follow up across multiple channels. We like to use email as the primary channel, as generally in business-to-business environment, people like to read their email and consume information that way. SMS is also a great way for time-sensitive follow-up, and voice calls provide a high-value opportunity for you to build rapport with your customers and extract more relevant information. Then social media allows you to connect with them and nurture them via content, and is great for also creating that multi-channel ambience where people consume content, get nurtured over time, and familiarize themselves with your business. And to set up AI-powered follow-up, you can program your agents to monitor all channels, and we have multiple workflows that work together to ensure that no leads slip through the cracks. This is an example of a workflow depending on how many times the users have been within our system and we've tried to call them. And if they don't pick up the phone, we have the capability to try to call them up to 8 times until they book a meeting. And in between all the calls, we have specified different follow-up messages, emails, and automations that make sure that we establish contact with the lead that has just signed up. And the reality is that it's almost impossible for a human to maintain that level of consistency that's required to follow up with a number of leads. We're not talking about 5, 10, 20. We're talking across thousands of leads because this system scales infinitely, and it's a repeatable process that you can do over and over and over again until you connect with the ideal prospect. You can extract call information right away from what happens when you talk to the prospect. If there's an error, you can immediately get notified, and you can get transcriptions of all the calls, information. As you can see here as an example, I'm getting a voice brief of all of the information. I can hear the call and see exactly what's happening. And I have 7 different workflows that are ensuring that every single prospect is followed up across all channels. So we have an AI caller to follow up with the new leads, where we handle the structured follow-ups across WhatsApp, email, and do so with time delay. We have an AI caller transcript to ensure that we extract the call data and make sure that we are always training our AI to be improving itself. Second, if people start noticing some of the patterns and they understand they're talking to AI, we also want to monitor that. And as of now, 99.5% of people can't tell they're talking to an AI. And this is specifically about inbound inquiries or people opting in to receive more information about our products and services. We also have opportunity management that allows us to manage our pipeline depending on the stages of the prospects. So depending if they just signed up, if we've already contacted them, established rapport, we can reach out with relevant information. And we have an AI cold calling agent that would also follow up to 8 times and try to get a hold of the business that we're calling. And another thing that's super helpful is that out of every call, we extract information. So for example, if the number's not right, or their email is no longer valid, or the phone number bounces, we want to extract that information and mark them off as a hard bounce. So these leads don't clog up our system, because we've seen that many of our clients think they have a big database, but in reality, it's an old database that hasn't been reactivated. They haven't nurtured it. They haven't cleaned it up. So when we start implementing those systems, it's a great way to filter the leads that might have some potential from those that are just clogging up your pipeline. You can also adjust the frequency based on engagement, and the more engaged leads get more frequent follow-ups. And you can also set up a trigger-based actions that when somebody seems to not be interested in what you have to offer, you remove them from your list so you avoid being annoying. The fourth automation focuses on creating and distributing content that attracts and nurtures leads. In 2025, that's probably one of the best ways to build your business and build your brand, because this is the way how we inform decisions. Whether it's YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, you have to be out there. Here's the problem. Consistent content creation is essential for attracting leads, but is incredibly time consuming. And it's something that I've been putting off forever, given that paid media has been working tremendously well. But in 2025, it's one of the channels you should absolutely not neglect, because first, it's free, it's cost effective, and second, it gives you a way to nurture existing clients as well. And most business owners either create content sporadically or outsource it at a high cost without understanding the nuances of each platform, and therefore get no results. And with AI, you can create highly personalized content at scale. You can extract all your call recordings from past clients, see what are the questions they're asking, the objections, and you can make a list of 100 pieces of content that you can create either by recording videos like this one or by creating written content that can answer those objections on your behalf. You can distribute it and schedule it over a month, and you'll be having a nurturing system that your sales team can use to feed to the people that are coming through your pipeline, and based on the objections they're having, reference them back to the content. And here's how to implement this automation. Step number 1 is to identify your content pillars. And I would have objections, common questions, and the 3 to 5 core topics that demonstrate your expertise and address your audience's pain points. For example, if you're a financial advisor, your pillars might be retirement planning, tax optimization, investment strategies, or estate planning. Now, step number 2 is to create an AI content generation system. And we have our personal AI model set up, and that system can generate various types of content. And each model is trained on the specific platform, on the content that's working on that platform, and the best practices there. So you could have email newsletters, social media posts, short form videos written for you, blog articles, video scripts, and even case study formats that would resonate with your audience. And the key is to provide your AI with enough context about your brand voice, expertise, and the audience you're trying to create content for, so your content sounds like you and not like ChatGPT. Now, step number 3 would be to implement a distribution workflow. And once you configure your system to not just create content, but to distribute it, you can use either the Go High Level Scheduler or tools like Tweet Hunter, Prospe AI, or other platforms that integrate natively with the social media channels and allow you to pre-schedule content for months on end. You can send newsletters to segmented lists. You can pre-schedule your newsletters, your short form content, YouTube videos, and then only once a week review the engagement and adjust strategy based on their results. A little tip that I would do here is probably have a different landing page for the channel that I'm creating content for, so I can monitor how many of my leads are coming from the different channels, so I can buckle up and double down on the channel that's working instead of spreading myself thin across multiple channels. What I would start with though is targeting multiple different channels and repurposing content, and then once I have traction on one of those channels, doubling down on that and removing the ones that don't work, or just pivoting and adjusting my strategy. And here's an example of my AI content system. This is specifically for Twitter or X, call it however you'd like. I have different models for the different platforms that are specifically trained on the best practices and content within that platform. But just so you can get an idea of what makes the AI content system so powerful is that I've cloned my voice. I literally transcribed my videos. I've added what is the audience, what is the tone, what is the mood, what is the language, what is my vocabulary, what are the key phrases that I'm using, what are some signature expressions, some styles, rhetorical devices, grammar, syntax, formatting, invoice content, special instructions just in case. I've studied all across my content, and I've added 9 different sections that help me create better content. I've also added my offer and ICP information, or the ideal client profile, and then I've also added some examples of content that's working on Twitter. That's the contrarian take, the bold statement, the relatable story, the data-driven fact, the curiosity-based content, the problem solution, the step-by-step guide. Then I have a format that I run my scripts to make sure they're easy to read, they're simple, they match awareness level and the level of sophistication of my market as well. And then I have additional instructions, I have a content matrix, and I have my life story. I've recorded a podcast from start to finish, about an hour and a half, going in detail of my story, of my upbringing, that I could then transcribe and feed over to the AI. So now I can create concepts, ideas, and content that's based on everything I have in here. And as you can see, I have example on how to write the hot take, the problem solution tweets, the data-driven fact, the success blueprints, the contrarian take, and literally for every format I have the best example, and then I normally feed examples of real tweets in here as well. And this forms the AI content system for a specific platform. And what I suggest is you build one for newsletters, for videos, for any channel pretty much. And this helps you shortcut your way to producing content at scale, especially if you have a small team or you're a solo founder. And a consultant I work with implemented this system and was able to maintain a consistent content schedule across 3 platforms while reducing their content creation time from 15 hours per week to just 2 hours of review and approval, while having a single video editor to make sure that their videos look professional and on brand. And the 5th automation focuses on proactively finding and engaging perfect fit prospects for your business. And most business owners solely rely on inbound leads, which limits their growth potential. And traditional outbound prospecting is time consuming and often ineffective due to poor targeting and generic messaging. And with AI, you can create sophisticated outbound system that researches, personalizes, and engages prospects at scale. Here's how to implement this automation. Step number 1 is to define your ideal customer profile. And you can start by clearly defining who your perfect customers are. What is their industry? What is the company size? What are the job titles of the decision makers? What are some of the common pain points and challenges? And what are triggers that indicate they might need your solution? Step number 2 is to set up an AI research system, and you could use Perplexity or XAI. And you configure your AI to continuously research and identify prospects that match your criteria. You can scrape LinkedIn, company websites, and news sources. And you can identify companies experiencing relevant triggers such as funding, expansion, or leadership changes. You can then build detailed profiles on decision makers and score prospects based on their likelihood to convert, and only outreach to those people. Now, step number 3 would be to actually create the personalized outreach sequences. You can program your AI to craft highly personalized outreach messages, and you can use Claude or ChatGPT for that, and you can reference specific details about the prospects, business, or things that exist about them on the web. Maybe they've shared a pain point, maybe they're hiring for a certain role, and now you can connect their challenges to your solutions, which makes it highly relevant and also timely, and also provides value based on the fact that you understand what they're facing. You can include personalized value proposition based on their situation, prepare a lead magnet, prepare a document that you can send to them, and you can vary the messaging formats to increase engagement. For example, you could record a voice note and send it over on LinkedIn. You can do email outreach, or you can reach out on any of the other channels such as Facebook or Instagram. You can also set up multiple follow-up sequences that are adapted based on engagement and send them multiple different pieces of content that are relevant to the pain they're experiencing. And here's the exact AI-powered outbound system that I'm using that I've literally just booked a call with, and I'll show you the exact conversation, the exact outreach, as you can see, and I'll show you the conversation. I outreached to a company. I'm gonna blur the content, and they came in and said, please schedule a meeting for next week. And this is a direct result of the AI-powered outbound system that I've set up. And as you can see, we have a lead list that we then verify with Reum verifier. We parse the JSON, we try to get their website, and we do a research on that prospect. We clean up their company name, we format that data, and we use AI to create a personalized line and open our email. Then we pass that data over to SmartLead, which is our cold email sender tool. The key is to have a level of personalization that would be impossible to achieve manually at scale. So let me share the 3 most common mistakes that I see business owners make when implementing these systems, or at least when trying to. They try to have everything perfect before they ever launch, and they're not happy with a good enough version that usually is the best case to go with it, and then having it refined based on real data. They just hypothesize of what the prospects would say and what they would think, which is never the case. Also, not connecting the automations to each other, because that's the real power when it comes to the system working seamlessly together. Outreach and then research and then follow-up reminders, all of this works in conjunction. And then the last mistake they often make is having the set it and forget it type of mentality, because these systems need monitoring and refinement every single day, especially in the early stages. You need to refine the messaging. Just like you would train an employee, you would have to train the AI as well. And if you avoid just these 3 common pitfalls, you'll be well on your way to transform your business. So if you're an established business owner, you want to shortcut your way to AI adoption, and you want us to install an AI-powered infrastructure in your business that can help you streamline your operations and lead generation, click the link below to book a call. And there you have it, the 5 automations that will transform your business in just 30 days. We've covered lead qualification, meeting scheduling, follow-up sequences, content generation, and outbound prospecting. Implemented together, these automations create a business that works 24/7, generating and converting leads while you focus on strategy and growth. And if you're particularly interested in the AI voice agents I mentioned throughout this video, I've created a step-by-step tutorial showing you exactly how to build your own AI voice agent from scratch. And it's perfect for beginners and requires 0 coding knowledge. So I suggest you watch that video if you want to create AI voice agents that sound completely human and can handle calls, qualify leads, and book appointments automatically. Click to watch the video here, and I'll see you in the next one.